Stats get his shit sorted over there.
He's doing things.
Espresso, you in VR?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I'm in VR.
All right, jump in one of those. I'll die for jets, and I'll talk you through starting the thing real quick.
Oh, it's carrier. Shit.
Yeah, Stats, it does the same thing. The kneeboard just lets you see it represented, but yeah, I think it's going to be the same thing where if you're hot, it's not gonna adjust your stores for your expendables.
Dude, I never knew that all this time. No idea.
I went through the SOT procedures like 2 or 3 days ago. I did it just by like using the tutorial, but for some reason, I guess the APU started, but it wouldn't actually light my engines.
Espresso, do you want to start this fucking thing, or you want to talk about it?
I'll go eat a dick. Let's go.
All right, you in the cockpit yet?
On the cock.
Okay, good. All right. So right wrist, look down at the console there. Battery forward. All right, left elbow. You've got a proportion switch, should be forward, and 2 prop valves. Click them both forward. They're flat switches.
Pumps?
Yep, pump. I'm sorry. Yep, I thought it said prop. Pump.
Yep, got it.
All right. Turn all the way around. Left shoulder, behind your left shoulder. You got the fucking deck switch. Jeez. Sorry, deck switch and the other one. So the yellow switch goes down. The
What's
switch
on?
above it goes up.
Got it.
All right. So you're ready to go. So then now throttle back to idle. Engine start forward. And it'll start spooling up. You'll see your RPM in the top right of your instrument panel start to spool up to 92. It'll start moving. Do you hear it?
All my shit's blinking and my RPM still saying 0.
But do you hear them climbing or no?
Well, fuck, I can't tell if it's mine or if it's your guys's. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So your throttle is your throttle and idle detent. Did you move it at all?
I haven't touched it, so it's past the first detent, so it should be in idle.
That's correct. Yeah. So you want to pull it back. So you've got a little, you know where that little idle lift switch is?
Yeah, you want me to lift it up and pull it back?
Lift it up, pull it back. Yep.
Okay. Wait, you're talking about my physical throttle or the in-game one?
The in-game throttle.
Okay, got it.
All right. Did those RPMs start to climb yet?
No. But I can move my throttle now, forward and backwards.
All right. So you went out of detent. So click that little liftover switch, pull it back into detent. All right. You sure you didn't miss nothing? So your fuel valve behind your left shoulder is down. The yellow black valve lever is down, and the deck switch above it is up.
Yeah.
All right. Both your pumps are forward.
Yep.
And your prop valve.
Wait, do we need manual fuel on?
Fuel should be forward. I can't read what it says, but both those flat blade pump switches should be forward.
Yeah, they're both forward.
And the fuel prop next to it should be forward.
Forward.
And your battery's forward, and your engine switch is forward. Or your start switch is forward. Engine start. What The fuck?
Yep.
All right, it's got to have something to do with your throttle. Try
Yeah,
pushing your.
let me check my controls real fast for the idle thing just to make sure I'm not fucked up. All right, so the detent lever needs to be back, right? So that way the throttle doesn't go forward or backwards.
You want the
In
throttle?
game?
Yep. You want the throttle all the way back. Your parking brake should be on anyway. It shouldn't move.
If you're looking at the base of the throttle, can you see any of that brown at the base of it towards the aft of the aircraft? Or is the base of the throttle all up against the kind of as far back as it can slide?
Looks like as far back as it can slide.
Alright, so that shouldn't be the issue then.
Well, you know, no. So I don't know how it is. Like in the Hornet, we have to pick ours up and we can pull it back, like over a detent. And
Listen,
there's
fuck that Hornet. There's a little switch on the front of this throttle that's a lift over. It's the switch lifts, not the throttle.
Got it. I got it. Okay. So okay. Yep, I figured the difference out.
All right, so lift that sucker and pull it back. And
It's
you
back.
can you move this thing in game? I don't know if you can.
I'll just reset it real quick. It's not a big deal. I remember the steps. Okay. Battery forward. Pumps forward. Decks on. Alright, it's all the way back. Alright, so battery, pumps, the decks, and then what?
You got the fuel valve and the decks, right? So then just engine start forward.
Yeah, RPMs ain't moving, man. Oh, yeah, there they are. Cool. Okay, got it.
All right,
We're
good. I was losing confidence in you there.
Alright, RPM is over 90, 92 right now.
All right, good. All right, so close your canopy, just move the throttle forward, and you should light. Let's see what happens.
Okay, lighten.
All right. All right, so then both MFDs, turn them on. Both your volume controls on the UFC, turn them on. The brightness knob above your right volume control, turn that on. And then under your UFC, your HUD symbology, turn that up to about 2-3 o'clock to start, and your altimeter, put that to radar.
Got it. Everything checked.
And then down between your legs in front of the stick, FLIR on, DMT on, those two switches, and then flip your nav switch to IFA, which is 3 o'clock.
Got it. Wait,
All right.
so the two switches, so the DMT is on and then the DP primary?
Just the FLIR above the nav switch. You really don't even need either one of them.
Okay,
But-
yeah, I got them on, fuck it.
Okay, and then right shoulder, your ejection lever, it's down. Not that it really makes a difference.
Set.
And I think you're set. Did I miss anything, guys? Oh, flaps. Your flap switch, so the switch, the right-left switch below the flaps, make sure it's in the on position.
Got it.
And that's it. And then you know the nav mode, so your HUD, once you take off, you go V-stall to nav.
I don't know that. What do I need to do?
Top left of your instrument panel, you've got air to ground nav, V-stall, so V-stall for takeoff, nav for flight.
Okay, got it.
All right, nothing else you really know. You know how to take this thing off? You know about stow stop and all that?
No.
All right,
Maybe.
so 1060 takeoff, we start 10 nozzles. So right now you're in V-stall mode. So bottom right of your HUD, you've got your nozzle position there. So what do you got your nozzles mapped to? You got them something, right?
Yeah, yep. I can move my nozzles.
Okay, start nozzles 10. And then your stow stop is the little stop behind your nozzle lever there. You're going to put that at 65.
Okay, hold on. Nozzle lever, where is that at?
Just to the right of your throttle. The
Okay,
stick
yep.
with the ball on the end.
Yep.
Alright,
Move
so-
that to what?
So between the stick with the ball and between the throttle, you've got a little lift pull switch lever with a bunch of detents, little holes there.
Yep.
I put that guy to 65. Or
Okay,
thereabouts,
it's-
just get it close.
Yep. 65.
Okay, water switch, you know where that's at? Above the flaps?
Yep. But I don't know when to use it.
Yeah, you would use it on takeoff or landing. Just as you're not going to need it at all today, but it's there if you need it for takeoff or landing. Just as a standard procedure, I put it to takeoff for takeoff and landing for landing. It only uses water when you need it.
Okay,
Alright,
that's on takeoff.
Your flaps are going to be all the way down in V stall, and then when we're flying, they're going to be in auto.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. You know where the parking brake lever is?
Yep.
Okay. Radio. You guys want to take any kind of stores? Empty tanks or something?
I don't know. Winter, what did you want to do?
I just want to work on trying to turn and not end up 150 feet away.
I'm happy to go through that with you. Mo, if you want to go with espresso.
Yeah, I'll take espresso. Okay, so espresso, why don't we go into the arming menu. Come up on COM 222 espresso, so COM 2 button 22.
Alright. Let's see, come to button 22.
Expressive road check.
Got you loud and clear. All right, go to the arming menu, put 2 empty fuel tanks on station 3 and 5, empty.
3 and 5 empty, got it.
And put 2 AIM-9s on the wingtips.
Copy.
So the thing's real twitchy. If you put a little bit of weight on it, it makes it a little easier.
Alright, so I lied when I said parking brake. Where's the parking brake? I was looking at landing.
Yep, no worries. So what I want you to do is lean forward till your face is like almost touching the UFC. Look down at towards your left elbow. In front of the throttle, down low, there's a little switch down there. It's going to be right up against your throttle, but it's just below that little lift lever that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I got it. I see it. Okay, that was what I was hitting earlier that I thought was the lift lever.
Yeah, you got to be careful because you could hit the lift lever by accident and shut the engine off.
Alright, well in that case, let me find a bind for that because I don't need it.
Yeah, it's going to be parking brake.
Yeah, 1 second. Rearming complete.
Okay.
Okay, set.
All right, I'm going to taxi out to the parking pads out here.
2.
All right, I got you. All right, so we're going to do a short field takeoff. So what we do with this thing is that stow stop there is going to stop your nozzle lever from going beyond 65 degrees. So we're going to get out on the runway. You're going to push the throttle, leave that nozzle at 10 degrees.
Watch out for traffic. Shank 2,
And
flight
we're going to push the
38,
throttle in
taking 31
to
left
full,
Delta.
as you would with any other aircraft.
Northern departure.
And when you get to 90 knots, you're going to pull your nozzle lever all the way back. and it's going to stop at 65 degrees. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so when you say full throttle, we're talking about burner or mill power?
There's no burner on this thing, so just full throttle. You're gonna put it in the corner and just wait for 90 knots, and then you're gonna pull that lever.
Not too easy.
All right, when you hit 90 knots, it's gonna take off in a very flat. You're gonna basically keep keep a flat trajectory. So when you're looking at the HUD right now, you've got the witch's hat, which is that it looks like a witch's hat down about halfway down the horizon there. And then you got your VVI right on the horizon. You see that, right?
Yep, got both.
Okay, you're going to climb in it. The witch's hat is your nose. The VVI is your velocity vector. So you're going to climb in a level attitude. So when you pull that lever back, you're going to put that witch's hat on the horizon, and you're just going to let the thing climb like that. Does that make sense?
The witch's hat's going on the horizon.
The witch's hat will go to the horizon. Yep, you're going to put the witch's hat on the horizon. The VVI will be above it.
Not too easy.
Okay, so then once you get some airspeeds, you're going to watch your airspeed. As soon as you're basically airborne and you're positive climb, pull your gear up and slowly move your nozzles back to about 30 degrees. And I'll talk you through this again when we take off. But you're going to move your nozzles to about 30. So you're going to push them forward from 65 to 30, and then you're going to watch your acceleration. Once you get to about 150 knots, you're going to go flaps auto, and then you're going to slowly take the rest of that nozzle out. And while you're doing that, maintain a positive rate of climb. So whatever you got to do with the nose to keep the VVI above the horizon. Good with all that?
Yep, just checking my binds so I can make sure that when I'm, we're good. But yeah, let me run it through you. We'll go, once we hit 90, I go 65 degrees down, or go until it stops, and then once I'm positive rate of climb, I'm bringing the witch's head up to the horizon, and then from there, once I've established 150 knots, it's flaps to auto, and then I bring the nozzle to 30, and then I slowly just work it out until we continue to climb.
That's correct. So you can take the nozzle out as fast as you want. You just want to keep the VVI in a positive rate of climb.
Too easy, ready to go.
All right, no big deal. Okay, so the other thing is once your nozzles go to 0, if you still have your water in takeoff, you'll get a master caution. So at that point, you would turn your water back to, we're not even going to need water. So just put your water in the off position, the center position. We won't need water.
Copy, water's off.
All right, so we eliminate that. Okay, ready to go?
Yeah, I do have one warning light. I think it says droop or drew.
Yep, so that means that your flaps are in droop, and just means that they're max full down in vertical takeoff position.
Okay, well then I'm green jet.
So we got three flap positions. You've got cruise, which is 0. You've got auto, and then you've got VTOL, which is in droop right now. They'll automatically come out of droop once you get enough airspeed.
Too easy, and then I'll just wait for you to let me know when to put it into nav instead of VSOL.
As soon as you're basically nozzle 0 at that point, it would be water off nav mode.
Too easy. Too green.
It just cleans up the HUD. Nav mode will clean up that HUD. You see a lot of shit there now. Tab. I'll dot for traffic. Shank 2, flight 2 AV8's departing. 31 left at Delta. F12. All right, so I'm going to climb out at 270 knots. I'll make a left-hand orbit around the field at 2,000 feet. You're in radar altimeter, right?
Confirm.
Okay, 2,000 AGL. I'll hold 270 around the field, form up on my left. So the visual reference for the Harrier for form is you're going to see my left outrigger wheel there. You're going to center that in the heat deflector behind my rear left nozzle. And that gives you your setback and your step down.
Alright, so the left outside wheel is get centered between the nozzle and what?
So you see that outrigger wheel that's sitting on the ground right now, right? That's going to fold straight back, and you're going to put that wheel in the heat deflector behind my left nozzle, my rear left nozzle. See my rear left nozzle? It's moving right now.
Okay, so that's not a flat, that's a heat deflector.
Yeah, that little thing with the strakes in it behind my nozzle, right behind my nozzle there, is, you see it? See how the nozzles are pointing at it right now? You're gonna put that wheel, you're gonna center that little dinky wheel hanging off my wing when it folds back. You're gonna center that wheel right in that deflector.
Okay, too easy.
All right, man, you ready to go?
2, green jet, let's do it.
All right, 1060 takeoff, 3-second interval, one's running up. Watch out for traffic, shank 2 departing 31 left. One's rolling.
2's on.
All right, 90 knots, nozzles back, go to 30, 150 knots, flaps up. Take the rest of that nozzle out. Ignore that caution light at your altitude. All right, I went to 300 here, and I'm going to start making a left. I'm going to slow back to 270 for you. All right, coming through 1500, I'm 270 knots in a left-hand turn.
And 2 set left.
Nice, good job. All right, so let's just make half an orbit here and take a look at that sight picture there and let me know when you got it.
Two should be good. Alright, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah, you can push out a little bit. You don't have to be right on top of me. Get whatever's comfortable. But if you can get that wheel centered in that little shield behind my nozzle, that'll give you your setback and your step down.
There we go.
All right, let's start climbing again. We'll keep the speed at 270. We'll keep this turn, and let's do about a 70-degree climb. So throttle's going to be about 80% or so. So when you do the landing with this thing, it's going to be nozzle 60. And you're basically going to fly it right down to the deck the way you took it off. So witch's hat on the horizon, kind of a flat profile, and you're going to just bring the thing onto the runway with the throttle. It's almost like landing a helicopter, but you're going 80 knots.
Alright, do you need to set the flat stopper thing to 60 then?
No, so now what you want to do is you want to get rid of that that stow stop. You want to pull it all the way back. Once we take off, you don't need it again.
Do you guys have a bind for it, or do you guys just like look at it VR and push it down?
So normally with my Warthog, I would bind it to that little gray lever under the throttle.
The friction level?
Yeah, whatever. What is that little gray, like thumb lever underneath your throttle on the Warthog?
Well, I mean, if you're not talking about the actual throttle itself, and you're talking about the base, then that'd be like the friction lever, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that thing. That's what I would normally have it bound to. I have a separate throttle and a stow stop lever here.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, because I mean, try to fly in form, and then, I mean, I guess I can look over. It's not a big deal, but I just didn't know if you guys...
You don't have to worry about it right now. It's not affecting us when we're in flight, but as we return to the field, you're going to want to be able to pull that thing back, because one of the biggest mistakes guys make. So for a rolling vertical landing, which is what we're going to do, or a short field landing, we're not going to be doing we're going to start bringing the nose down here. So for a rolling vertical landing or a short field landing, we're going to make it with nozzles 60, somewhere around 10 units AOA, and you're going to basically just bring the thing down onto the runway going about 80 knots. So unless you want to do a hover stop landing, which we could do. If you're going to do a hover stop landing, you want to definitely make sure that that stow stop is out of the way, otherwise you can't get to hover. And that's what new guys do it all the time. They come into hover and they can't get nozzles below 60 degrees, they end up crashing.
I pulled all the way back, as we said.
Yeah, that's it. So once you take off, you don't need it again anyway. So if you go to VSTOL mode in your HUD, you can see your nozzle position. When we're in nav mode like this, you can see your nozzle position on the engine readout, which is right above your right MFD.
Yep.
So you've got a duct position. It's going to be 000 right now, top left there. Let's push speed up 300.
Two.
Where did those guys go? I have no idea. Let me look on the map real quick. Oh, they went out to the tanker. You ever tank in this thing?
I have not. Is it a nozzle or is it like a stick thing?
So look off your left, behind your left shoulder. You can take some separation if you want, dude.
Yeah, dude, I was trying to fly for me. I mean, it's fun. It's fine flying tight, so. Alright, dude, I want to tank at this thing now. Do you guys have to trim this thing out like you do in the 14, or,
Say again?
do you guys trim this out like you do in a 14?
You constantly have to trim. So right now, I've got the autopilot on, so I'm just straight level. It's got a really rudimentary autopilot. It's basically got a pitch hold and an altitude hold. So I've got pitch and altitude hold engaged right now to give you a break. But your refueling probe is right behind your, hold on, it's the bypass switch. Hang on. Okay, so your fuel prop valve, which is the octagonal switch by your left elbow, the one all the way outboard.
Got it.
All right, right behind that is your probe switch, and it goes to the center position for probe out.
Alright, probe's out.
Okay, so you see how you can't see the probe.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on, let's get a tanker here. All right, looks like the closest one is going to be Shell 2, which is Yankee Juliet. Hold on, escape. All right, Shell 2-1 is going to be 116 Yankee 317.6.
3176, got it.
116 Yankee 317.6.
Ooh, wait, how do I put that in? Because I just typed in 3176 and it didn't stow it.
Yeah, stand by.
Oh, never mind, I got it. I just didn't use the decimal.
Yeah, it's like a Harrier bug. You got to put it in twice the first time. All right, so 3176, and then for the TACAN, you got to work TACAN on this thing. Should be the same as the 18.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, so you got a TACAN button right in the middle there between your two COM1, COM2 knobs there.
Got it.
Alright, punch tack in, 116, enter, and then on, which is right by your right comm switch. And then on your ODU on the left, you're going to flip it to air, so you're going to box air to air above your left MFD and switch to Yankee.
Got it. Do I need to hit enter after Yankee or just switch?
So on your ODU on the left, you're going to have to switch it to Yankee. Right now it should say X-ray above tone.
Yep. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. You don't have to hit enter after it.
Oh, no, nope. You just it goes back and forth.
Okay. Set. 116 Yankee.
Alright, so on your MFD, right or left, whichever one you want, I'm sure they're both empty now, right? Right now, right?
Yeah, they're blank.
Okay, so EHSD, left button, fourth down on the left.
Got it.
Alright, now we got to get rid of the map. So the center button on the left, so the third button down, and then on the right, the second button down. And that'll get rid of the moving map so you can actually see.
Center left button and then second one down, right? Got it.
Alright, so you lost the moving map now, right? You can actually read it.
Yeah, it's like our HSI or whatever. Yep.
Okay, so I'm showing 298 for 42.5.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so you back saddled again? Alright, so we're making a left. Why don't you go parade right, echelon right.
2, come right. Is that alright?
Alright, gotcha. Let's make a left. Good job, man.
Yeah, I've flown once or twice.
Alright, he's 20,000, so let's start a little bit of a climb here. So I'm going to take a little roll out and we'll start the climb. Nosing up. Keeping that 300. Rolling out.
Now, does the Harrier have like a heads up, a head mounted display?
No, there's no head mounted display here. I wish, man, it'd be nice to have.
Yeah, especially when you're flying form.
Well, you don't have to really see anything. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm so used to it, but we were talking about that last night. Like, when I'm flying form, I have no idea which direction we're going, how fast we're going. You just see what the other guy's doing and you do it.
Yeah, I hate this issue, little lack of situational awareness though.
So he's crossing from left to right, so I'm going to start coming right here.
2.
Where's Terry been, man? He's in love.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Ever since you got a girlfriend, just kind of like stop playing around.
It's terrible. Horrible, horrible thing, man. Women, they ruin everything.
Actually, you're telling me, man. Been married yet?
Dude, I've been engaged twice. I shouldn't say this because we're recording this flight, but yeah, no. I dodged that bullet twice, and that's it, dude. I'm going to be 47 in a couple days, and I'm perfectly happy with my single life. Trust me.
Yeah, I got divorced once, and I'm just kind of riding lightning.
Dude, I see my married friends, man, with kids and shit. It's just like, oh, no, I couldn't do it. All right, we're going to start leveling off here. I got the tanker in sight. He's at our 12, crossing to our right.
2.
What did I say this was? Did I say it was an MPRS or is it a 135 or a 130?
It should be a 135 MPRS shell, I think.
If you're not comfortable down there, you want to cross to my left, that's up to you. Just do it.
I mean, you guys are forming up on the left anyway, right, before you tank?
Yeah, I'm going to form up the left, so the left basket is going to be easier. It's up to you which one you want, the left or the right.
It doesn't matter to me, man. I'll figure it out, I'm sure. But I'm going to come echelon left.
Okay, go ahead, clear across, and we'll form up on his left, and then I'll send you in for basket 1 or the left basket. It looks like he's crossing back, so I'm going to start rolling back out. I'm not visual on
Yeah,
it.
here we go.
Yeah, fucker's making a turn back left now.
Yeah, I'll stay echelon left just because that's where I'm forming up.
All right, so when we tank in the Harrier, you're going to go to flaps cruise, and you can do that when you can, but that flap switch has got to go up. But I'm going to start pulling the speed back. Coming back on the throttle real slow. Radio. F6. Alright, so to get that left basket, as you know, you got to call him up first. So are you able to get to your radio controls?
Yeah, I got set up.
F1. I believe this guy is Arco, but he's showing his shell?
I think you mentioned shell when you close the map out and give the tack hand.
Alright, just hang with me. I'm going to go heads down real quick. Stand by. Alright, shell 2. F11. Yep, this is the one. Alright, we got the right tanker. Alright, coming back right again. We got way slow here. Sorry about that.
I didn't know if you were going to stall or if it was a Harrier thing or what.
No, man, I was heads down. I was in the F10 map and I pulled the throttle back. Alright, let's push that speed back up.
I think that tanker cruise speed's like 254, so.
You know, we've got him visual. Why don't you get and call him up and he'll tell us his speed.
Shell 1-1, Dodge 4-1, request rejoin.
Dodge 4-1, Shell 1-1, proceed to pre-contact at 20,000, F2.
Alright, so y'all don't look at your probe whenever you put it in the basket? Like, what's your reference point?
You got to feel it, man, because you can't see it. So if you look at your probe, you'll never get it. So I look at the basket. I put the basket. It's hard because on the left, this is a 135, right?
Yeah.
So your frame of reference, I guess, is going to be that outboard, that number 1 engine. So that outboard engine on the left there. And you've got to kind of, I don't know, man. I just feel it. Like, put the probe out now, right? Take a little separation. Put the probe out.
Alright, bro. You're telling a Hornet guy to fucking just stick his probe that he can't see into a basket too easy.
Yeah, so you've got to kind of get a feel in space of where that thing is, because if you look at it, you're never going to hit it. So the way I do it is I kind of creep up to the basket, right? I'll get settled behind the basket, get it all trimmed out. I'm visual on you, you're my 11 low. So I get it trimmed out, get it even with the basket, maybe like, I don't know, maybe 50 feet back from the basket. Once I'm established and trimmed and level and it feels good, then I'll push the throttle up a little bit and I'll just creep up to that basket. But there's not a whole lot of like lining up and dicking around. It's kind of like just a feel where it is and kind of throttle up and push it in. For me, that's how I do it.
That's all good. I'm going to get on the first try, don't worry.
Okay, flaps to cruise, otherwise your flaps will be going in and out of auto and it'll drive you nuts.
Yep, flaps set to cruise.
Alright, so go ahead and cross under and go ahead and jump on that left basket.
2. And shell 2-1, shank 1-2 coming in, refuel left basket.
Now for the 135, you want to kick like just a little bit of left rudder in. It kind of wants to spin you around.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right. Why is that? Does drag at the probe?
I don't fucking know. It's the Harrier. It only happens on the 135, not the 130.
Clear contact.
One's crossing under for the right basket. Shell shank 2-1 coming up on the right basket. Radio. And just take it easy. Don't look at the basket. Do not look at the basket. F6. F1. F1.
Shell 1-1, Dodge 4-1, request rejoin.
Dodge 4-1, shell 1-1, proceed to pre-contact at 20,000, at 250.
F1.
Ready, pre-contact.
Cleared contact. Contact. You're taking fuel.
Fuck!
Dude, guys try this for hours. You have no idea.
No, I get it. I just gotta visualize it off my left shoulder.
You've just got to kind of feel where it is. You can't look at it. I'll look at the last second, but there's no making any corrections at this point. At that point, either you got it or you don't, you know? All right, two's coming, or one's coming off.
Return pre-contact.
Radio. F1.
Abort rejoin.
So I guess if this dude's gonna do a head right turn, I don't need to put any rudder in because it'll just spin for itself.
I hold a little bit of left rudder on the 135, just a tiny bit, and it seems like it kind of helps you out a little bit. But remember, you want to stabilize behind the basket. You can't chase the basket around, so get stabilized where you're at right there. Just get the aircraft. You know, the tanker's not moving, right? He's pretty stable. That basket doesn't move much. So get stabilized back there and then just kind of drive into it. You've got to kind of just feel where that probe is. can't look at the basket. Oh, you're so close. Alright, so you missed it. Just back off a little bit. Don't overcorrect. Just back off a little and reset and try again. I never did real well easing into it. I stabilize 10, 20 feet behind it, and then I just drive into that fucker.
Contact.
There you go. That's it right there.
You're taking fuel.
Oh, you lost it.
That's all right. Hold on, let me make sure my trim's set right, because this is all fucked up.
So you constantly trim this thing. So get behind that thing, trim yourself to level, and get yourself all squared away there. So it kind of flies more or less hands off. Now remember, the Harrier never flies hands off. So you're constantly playing with the trim, but get it trimmed out as well as you can, and then go for it.
I'm saying the tanker's turned left, right?
He's in a little bit of left bank. Yeah, he looks like he's about 10-degree left bank.
Alright, because I'm trying to hold rudder in and... Yeah, alright, I got this fucking...
So because he's in the left bank, give it a little more rudder. Dude, wait till you see this video. It's great.
Oh man, this is rough. I can feel it though, man. I can feel that probe off my left side. I know it's there. I'm just trying to like figure out why this, like how to do it while the jet's turning.
Return pre-contact.
Oh, fuck this guy.
Take a second, take a breather, set yourself up again.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the tanker's turning either though. Especially if I've never flown.
135 is really tough. I should have picked a 130. It's just the closest one.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm at 5,500 pounds anyway, so.
Yeah, we got plenty of gas, dude. It's an hour's flying there.
Ready for contact.
Clear contact. Contact. You're taking fuel.
Alright, just concentrate on that engine now. Smooth it out. Power it up. Get a little closer to him. Nice.
How much did you take?
I just went up to 8,000.
Cover.
You'll take, I mean, you could take 11,000 pounds of tanks on. Now you should unhook and try it again, just to see if it was just beginner's luck.
Shit, dude, come on. Alright, fuck it.
Return
So I'm
pre-contact.
sitting at 8,000, I'll do it again.
Nice. That's great.
You're taking fuel.
All right, stabilize, and then unhook, cancel. Let's go back to base.
Two coming back.
Return pre-contact.
And stall 2-1, shank 2-2, coming right. Echelon, complete refuel.
Go ahead and join on my left.
2.
I'll hold this till you cross back over.
Set right.
I got you. Okay. All right, let's head back. I'm showing 142 for 51. Let's push speed up 300.
Where we going? The tanker or the carrier?
Aldafra.
The carrier.
You want to do the LHA? That's a long ways though.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, we can do the field. I didn't know what tack camera put in. 96 expect?
96X, yeah. And put your flaps back to auto.
2. Alright, 96 X-ray set. I'm showing 48 for 146.
Yep, make firm. Start making right.
2.
Return
I'm gonna keep this in mind. I'm doing this pretty buzz right now.
Yeah, me too. Makes it a lot better.
No, it's amazing.
Imagine if you could do this in real life.
Shit, that'd be sweet. Actually, I take that back. I don't think it would be sweet. I think I'd want to be completely 100% flying a jet, but that's just me.
You know, World War II, the pilots used to do a shot before they went up. It was the Germans, right? The Germans and the French did it.
Oh man, when I was deployed, we had this Russian dude come in with the jingle, we call it jingle airs, a little helicopter, I guess the Mi-8. A little bit smaller than that, I think. But they would come in and they'd be all fucked up. Just have a bottle of vodka right there, and you can smell on them, and that's just where they flew.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they'd drop off, they'd sling load pallets and then have a bunch of MREs and stuff in the back, but the dude would just come in there and offer us shots, and I mean, he wasn't trash, but you could definitely tell he had a nice little hydration there.
Fucking Russians.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. Crazy that Russians are helping you out there in Afghanistan, but I mean, whatever's money. Alright, so when we go down for landing and we prep, we're going to go in a V-stall, we're going to put our flaps down in the stall, and then we're going 60 degrees.
Yeah, so here's what the brake looks like in this thing. So 350, 1,000 feet. Prep as much as you can ahead of time. So ahead of time you'll go HUD V-stall and you can put water down into takeoff mode. It's not going to hurt anything because it only uses water. Think of water as afterburn. So it only uses water when it needs it. So there's no harm in putting it on, even though the engine tone does change in DCS. It doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
All right, so 1,000 feet, 350 knots. You know, standard 3.5 to 4G left-hand brake. As you're braking, as your speed drops below 270, you're going to go to flaps to V-stall, which is droop all the way down. Below 250, gear down, and nozzles to 25 degrees. So as you roll out on your downwind, you're shooting for, you're going to be about 800 feet, maybe 1,000, between 1,000 and 800 feet. Nozzles 25, water on, flaps down, gear down. And then you're going to basically take that witch's hat and you're going to chase the VVI. So you want the VVI and the witch's hat to both be on the horizon. You're going to use the stick to put your stick and throttle to get them lined up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so what's actually decreasing your altitude? Is it the throttle or the stick?
So at that point, it's still going to be pitch. Once you're a beam, your landing spot, which is going to be the end of the runway, then you're going to pull nozzle 60. When you pull nozzle 60, the thing's going to balloon up in the air, so you've got to go way nose down to keep it from climbing. So you're going to be 600 feet abeam, the landing point. Nozzle 60, you're going to have to nose down to get rid of the climb, because it's going to be like putting in a ton of flaps. And then once your nozzle 60, at that point, you're flying on the engine. So at that point, it's almost like a helicopter. It's going to be throttle for altitude and pitch for speed.
Copy.
All right, so at that point, once you go nozzle 60, you're looking for 10 units. So if you flip it to V-stall, you've got units just at like the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on your HUD. So you're shooting for, once you go nozzle 60, you're shooting for 10, 11 units. Use your throttle to decrease altitude, and as you're turning to 90, you're going to drop from 600 down to about 400 for final. And it's going to be a short pattern, because remember, we're almost landing like a helicopter. You're going to be flying 85, 90 knots on final. So you're going to basically descend with the throttle right down to the threshold, nose level, 9 to 11 units. And you're going to be about 80, 85 knots at touchdown. Once you touch down, this thing doesn't have really much at all for brakes. So you're going to go nozzles 99. So you're going to pull your nozzles all the way back to 99, put in another like 40, 50% of throttle to reverse brake.
Okay.
Does all that make sense?
Yeah, everything but the 9 to 11, the points, whatever you're talking about. I must have missed that.
So units of AOA, so on the left of your, so right now we're right around 5.5 units we should be, so look on your HUD for that 5.5.
Okay, you mentioned AOA, I got it, I'm tracking now.
Yep, AOA units. So, alright, so airfield's off to our right here. We're gonna fly out about 10 miles, we'll come back in. Let's start a descent now. So starting a descent, we'll go up to 350 in the descent. And pulling the power back, let's just let it creep up to 350 on its own. So standard brake, 350 knots, 1,000 feet. Once you're in the brake, below 270, flaps down, below 250, gear down, nozzles 25, roll out on downwind, shoot for 600 feet. Once you're beam the numbers, you're going to go nozzle 60, nose down to take out the balloon, and then once you're about 45 off the threshold, you're going to make your base leg. You'll be on the engines, nozzle 60, throttle for altitude, pitch for speed. Keep that 10 units right down to the threshold. And you'll flare with the throttle.
We'll see how it goes.
Just remember, flare with the throttle, not the nose. You're going to keep nose level the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a Hornet.
just a little bit here to get on runway heading.
Are we doing this like a section landing, or are we doing a individual?
Now we'll do a section, so if you want to go echelon left so we can make this big right here, we'll get back on heading. We're just coming up to about 12 miles past the threshold here.
2711.
We'll make it 20, make a long run in so we can get set up.
Yeah, just let me know when to set up to like the V-stall and the HUD, I guess, versus, you know what I mean?
You can do it now, so it won't hurt you. So go ahead and go water down and go HUD V-stall. I'm in V-stall mode right now anyway, I just left it there.
Okay.
So there's nothing to lose by doing that right now. So now you see your units, looks like the little fish there on the left.
Yeah, 4.7-ish.
Yep, that's it. And then your nozzle position is on the right. You see the 0N above the 5F.
Yep.
Okay, that's all you really need to worry about. One other thing, so do you have the nose wheel steering mapped in this or no?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so have you got like a pinky lever or something?
Yeah, I think default's the throttle, or the stick pinky.
Okay, so turn your anti-skid down there to the center position to on. It's right below your big yellow jettison switch, left of your gear lever.
Yep, set.
Okay, otherwise when you hit the runway, the thing goes squirrely because it doesn't take any kind of side loads on the ground well. All right, we're gonna level off here at 2,000. Keep 350, and we'll start making it right.
So after the break, once we break, that's when we go to nozzles 25.
Yeah, you can go nozzles 25 in the brake. The NATOPS doesn't do it that way, but I find that it's a little bit easier. I mean, get as much done as you can while you're already upset. So once you go into the 90 there, once you go into the brake, just go ahead and you can go nozzles 25 right away. It's not going to hurt nothing. And there's no one behind you, so the concern is if we were a flight, if you go nozzles 25 too soon, the guy behind you is going to crawl up your ass, but we don't have that problem today, so, and it makes things easier.
Alright, so nozzles 25 in the brake, we hit 270, we go flaps down, and then 250 we go landing gear down, and we go down to 600, and then that's when we do the base leg at 45, and we hit the numbers, we go to 60.
Yep, a beam the numbers. So when you're a beam the numbers, so at the end of your downwind, look left, you see those numbers over your shoulder. At that point, you go nozzle 60. When you go nozzle 60, the thing's going to balloon up into the sky as if you dumped a bunch of flaps in. So you got to go nose down to compensate, and then once it settles out, you're going to shoot for 10 units AOA. And just keep that 10 AOA all the way down to the numbers.
Balloons up, or do we just leave it?
Rolling out, sorry.
Just push down.
I push the nose down. You can let it balloon up. I mean, you could do it progressively with the nozzle lever too, rather than just shoving it to 60. But I don't finesse it. I just put it to 60 and then just push the nose down.
Okay. Yeah, usually with the Hornet, it will pop up and it will increase altitude. So I didn't know if you had to let go of the throttle as well and pull it back.
No, so you're still pitched for altitude at that point because you've still got enough forward speed. So you would pitch down to compensate for the balloon, and then you'll see the transition, man. You'll feel it when it goes from flying to flying on the engine. So you'll feel where it goes from aerodynamic flight to powered.
Gotcha. echelon right?
Yeah, go ahead and go echelon right, sorry.
Alright, set.
We're going to drop the nose down a little bit here, and we're going to come right a little bit to get on runway heading. And just a second, wait for that turn. We're actually going to come left a little bit. Sorry about that. I lost my bearings there.
And orders. I'm flying off east. Just what you gotta do.
Haven't spent enough time at Alta Alpha lately. Alta Alpha traffic, Shank 2, flighted 2 AV8s, 10-mile initial, 3-1 left for the overhead.
Hold off the traffic. Shank 1, flight 2 AV8s 25 to the northwest for the overhead, 3-1 left.
Alright, coming back right for runway heading. Coming through 1100, we're going to level off in a second here. Keep 350. Level off, 350, roll it out. All right, 5-second interval on the brakes. I'll call the brake on COM 1. And 350, 1,000 feet, nozzles 25 in the brake as you roll out. 370s flaps down, 350s gear down, 600 feet on the downwind. Beam the numbers, nozzles 60, 10 units, turn your 90 once you're 45 off the threshold, and fly 10 units all the way down to the tarmac, and you're going to flare with the throttle. Remember, flare with the throttle. And then once you hit the deck there, nozzles all the way back to 99, give it a little bit of gas, maybe 40% slow you down. If you start hitting the brakes at 80 knots, it's going to go squirrely.
Alright, when you flare, how much flare are we talking about? Like,
Just to goose the throttle a little bit, man. It doesn't bounce this thing. You won't bounce it.
okay, that's what I was making sure.
Alright, I'm going to go all the way to the opposite end of the runway till I brake. Alta traffic, Shank 50 is in the brake, 3-1 left. In the brake.
Alpha, Shank 22 in the brake for 3-1 left.
Once you go nozzles 25, get that throttle, get that witch's hat on the horizon, and then throttle that VVI up to the horizon and match them up. So witch's hat and VVI on the horizon, 600 feet. Alta traffic, Shank 50 is downwind, gear down, flaps down, water's on, fuel is 6.5, 3-1 left. So once I'm gonna beam the numbers, nozzles 60, 10 units. And you'll feel those flaps go to droop. The VVI will bounce up. 45 off threshold, I'm making my turn. Now the VVI is dropping. I gotta put a buttload of throttle into it to get it on the engine. And once you make your base, you should be on the engine at that point. 10 units, about 100 knots for your turn, descend it to 400.
Southbound traffic, shank 22, left base, for 3 on left.
So you're catching me, so extend that bit downwind a little bit if you can. I'll land long. Let's just roll this. I'll land long. Remember, this thing doesn't take any runway.
Yeah, I'm getting used to the witch's hat and lining up that to be velocity vector.
So what's your speed right now?
93.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm up to 104, and I'm just gonna fly runway heading. I'll land all the way down the other end. So just keep that profile, go aim for the numbers. I'll land all the way down the other end there.
No worries. And up that for shank 22, final 3 left.
50 is short final, landing long, 31 left. 50 is short final, landing long, 31 left.
Hold up for traffic, shank 1, fly to 2, initial, 31 left.
How'd you make out?
A little bounce. I was running the 10A away. But it seemed like, oh shit, hold up. But one time I started getting close to the ground and it just jumped for like 14 or whatever, so I just threw it in the burner real quick and I bounced a little bit, but we're good.
Yeah, once you get into ground effect, I guess that VBI kind of hops up a little bit. You lose some of that, some of those units. But I don't know. I just kind of keep it, just kind of fly it right above the runway and just kind of, I'm not going to say I chop the throttle, but just kind of progressively pull it back, and then that's it. You're on the ground.
Alright, so once I'm on the ground, I don't have noticeable steering unless I press it in. It says cast. Do I need to do anything to lock noticeable steering in or what?
So that switch, the anti-skid switch below your jettison button, just push it to the down position to get your nose wheel steering back.
Okay, there we go. Alright, sweet.
That was fun, man. You did a good job.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for taking me on. Yeah, definitely did a lot better than I thought it would.
Dude, nobody tanks their first time up. That was like a miracle.
And up off of traffic, shank 22 is off, quit active 3 left. Yeah, I looked at it a couple times to see what you're talking about, and just by looking at it, I mean, as soon as you get close, you just, shank it, literally. Or if you just don't look at it, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, if you look at it, dude, you can't get it. I mean, I can't get it by looking at it. And I've got a Pimax, so I've got a really wide field of view, and I still, like, if I turn my head like 10 degrees left, I can kind of catch the end of the nozzle. But it just fucks me up, man. I just kind of got to know where it is.
ordnance in this thing, man.
Not much to it. It's pretty easy, pretty simple.
How's your guys' like FLIR and stuff? Like, how's it look on the DJI?
Just use the DMT. So on your MFD, hit the DMT button there.
Hold on, I got a fire. What the fuck's going on with my engine?
I have no idea what you could have done to light the thing on fire. I don't know, dude. What could you have done? F2.
I have no idea. Just I seen smoke out of nowhere.
Leave the water on too long.
He's got wing damage. You got damage to your left wing there.
I mean, it probably happened when I bounced in. I just didn't see it. Builds character.
Yeah, dude, you're all fucked up, man. Oh, you lost the fucking tank? You lost the tank and your ordnance on the left side there.
That's probably why I was like drifting to the right then.
I was gonna try to get you to hover the thing.
Well, hold on. I mean, this is where we start, right? When we park.
Yeah, you gotta start another one and then you gotta dump the gas. You could defuel it in the arming menu. Put the dumps on and defuel. It'll defuel twice as fast.
Yeah, let's see if I can run it up real quick.
Does this thing light on fire if you leave the water on too long?
Engine blows up.
I've never done that.
Lit on fire from the water switch on?
Yeah, I left it on one day when I was flying with the Yogi, and I went kablamo.
Strange.
Well,
No reason it should do that.
There was a bug where, I don't know if it was a bug or a feature, but it was like that for like 2 years, where if you put the water on, whether it was in takeoff or landing, your RPMs would increase. But supposedly they fixed that just recently in the last month or two.
Sorry, what was the bug?
If your water was on, whether it was in takeoff or landing, if you left it on, your RPMs would increase.
The RPM should go up 6% when you put the water switch on, either position.
Okay, so I don't know. Supposedly though, there was something with that they fixed that was a bug.
Hold off for traffic. Shank 1, flight 288, initial runway 31 left. Hold off for traffic.
How much fuel do I need?
Drop your fuel to like 5,000 pounds, 4,000.
Mo, you ready for the best braid formation ever?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. I'm over here waiting.
I know you can't tell, but there's actually 2 aircraft right here. Damn sexy. It's for you.
Nice. Good job.
Hold off for traffic.
Fucking
Shank 1, flight
dude.
28 in the overhead. Hold off for traffic. Shank 65 in the break.
Mo, you hovering over there?
Yeah, I'm just screwing around waiting for espresso to come out of the hangar over here.
I need about. Oh, shit, that should be good here in a second.
Hold on for traffic. Shank, 6 is a beam, 3 down, flaps
Pulling up
down.
now.
Water on, 2.3.
Down for traffic, Shank 65. You're down, flaps down, wet 2.2.
Okay, and dumping fuel and jet spooled up.
Got both dumps on, right?
Hold on
No,
for
I
traffic.
just
Shank 60
I'm
is
at
final,
70
31
or
left.
7,000 right now. I don't
Us.
even know where to find the fucking dump switch at.
So the dumps are right behind your 2 pump switches. Make sure you flip them both forward and it'll dump twice as fast. Set your bingo, roll your bingo up to 3,500 and it'll stop dumping at 3,500. Your bingo is on the right below your right MFD, a little switch down there, a little knob.
Down for traffic, Shank 65. Turning final, 31 left.
Alright, I gotta set the 4,000 just to be safe. And then both dumps are on. Everything else looks good. Cool. Alright, I'm at 4,400. Is that good enough?
That should be fine.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm good to go. I'm just on this fucking thing without shutting my engine off.
Alright, so go ahead and taxi out where you got some room. I don't see you out here.
I'm pushing right now.
I'm pushing out right now.
Alright, so point yourself out into the wind there, runway heading. And then you're gonna go nozzles 81. Put your water to takeoff, so flip that water switch up. Nozzles to droop or all the way down, V-stall. V-stall HUD mode, which you already have. And then hold the brakes and just ease the throttle up. You're gonna lift off somewhere between 80 and 95%. You'll feel it start to get light, so go up to about 75 and then just start throttling up and you'll get airborne. And once you're airborne, this thing, it's got a lot of momentum. It's just like a helicopter, but it's got a lot of momentum, so you want to just keep it, you know, don't let it get too much pitch roll in any one direction. Smooth on the throttle, smooth those adjustments. Because if it gets too much momentum, it's very hard to recover.
Clear back in 31 left.
The problem is, my friend, yeah, you're gonna have to look, yeah, is I have the, what's it called? The afterburner D10 on my throttle, so I have to push it past it. It's a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, you gotta get rid of that. That's no good.
Alright, what's your R at, I guess? I don't know what that means, but...
Okay, so are you getting a you got an octagon on the left there?
Come on, the HUD.
On the left of your HUD there. So what's giving you? Why you asking about R? That's what I'm asking you.
Oh, I'm just adjusting, like, as I adjust my throttle, it's giving me a number. It says R100 or 104, and I'm just trying to find out, like, where the sweet spot's at.
Oh, okay, so RPM. So right now, see, it depends. Everything's on your weight, so I'm much lighter than you because I'm only 1,700 pounds on the gas. So it doesn't matter. Forget what your throttle setting is. You've just got to get it. Just watch your VVI.
Okay, I got a master warning. It says bingo. Oh, never mind. Huh.
You know, you're so lucky my fucking sidewinders won't fire in when your nozzles are beyond a certain point. Hey, Stats, why won't my sidewinders fire when I'm in nozzles 80, 81? Is that like a real thing? Or is it the gear down maybe?
I don't know, to be honest. You have to be over a certain speed. I don't know if that's what they programmed into there. It'll fire it. It just would flame out your engine.
Really, the sidewinder coming off the rail would flame out the engine?
Not going fast enough, yeah.
Huh.
Hey man, I didn't design it.
I was going to shoot down espresso just then. I couldn't get a sidewinder off the rail.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried to fire one in the hover, so I'm not sure if there's some other disconnect.
Come on,
we
you
can talk
guys
about with
don't
the gear.
practice firing weapons in the hover? What kind of bullshit is this?
Bush League, my man.
Stats, you a pilot, man? Harrier pilot?
Used to be.
Oh, that's cool, man.
It's been a little over a year since my last flight.
Nah, man, it's
Oh.
only been a few minutes since your last flight.
How's it compare? GCS versus the thing?
Way better than I thought it would.
So I mean, you can take off right from the hover. You just like slowly increase your nozzle or what?
Yeah, you just got to be really light. I mean, there's really no, it's useless.
It's super fun though. Feels like a rocket ship. No tactical reason to do it, but we train to it. Yeah. You basically just go full power, start bringing the nose out a little bit, and then nozzle the nozzle out, kind of in accordance with keeping the velocity vector over the horizon. That's about it, which you can do it pretty quick. Get on the wings.
Aha!
That's it. We
Yeah,
got
that's all there
another.
is to it.
We got another fucking recruit.
Come on over to the dark side.
15-second, I got a master warning.
Yeah, that's just a warning that you've been kind of high on the power for more than 15 seconds.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can't come in for a hover landing.
Yeah, coming back to the hover's the challenge. So, do like we did, nozzle 60. So go ahead and turn your, get yourself set up for a downwind or get yourself pointed upwind. Nozzle 60, get that 10 units, get your speed under control, and then just start transition. I just basically go from 60 to 81 when I'm, God, it's hard to judge, but maybe like a FARP length, that's what I say, like a FARP length from my landing spot. I'll pull back to nozzles 81. Water goes to landing, make sure the flaps are in VSOL. tell you what, DCS did a good job with just like the general feel of the airfields. They did a lot of little buildings and things to look at, and light poles to hit.
That was a little rough.
Yeah, well, I got an afterburner detent, so like I have to like push past it just to get to like 80% or whatever to hover. It's kind of a pain in the ass.
Got one of those fancy wind wings.
No, it's a what's it called, a Warthog, but I printed a 3D printed an afterburner detent for it.
Yeah, we don't have afterburner problems around here. Oh, jeez.
Oh shit.
What are you on fire again?
Yeah, I flipped. I landed and flipped over.
You didn't do the whole file the detent down so you can just push through it.
I did originally, and it was kind of not sticky, but I just didn't have it set right, so I just 3D printed one.
So one thing I have noticed with decelerating is it seems to decelerate a lot faster in the game than it would in real life. But other than that, the rest of the deceleration to a hover is very realistic.
So you notice what we talked about, remember way back in the beginning about rudder inputs on this thing? How do you feel about that? I mean, do you feel like some type of a P factor or adverse yaw or something in there a little bit?
The real thing? No, I've never noticed it.
No, I mean in DCS.
No, not really.
What's wrong with me? I like just now as going from transitioning from nozzle 60 to 80, I had to put a bunch of right rudder in there.
I don't know. Maybe you're just better than me. I'll vote for that. Yeah, honestly, I've never noticed it. I don't remember that being brought up ever in training.
Tell you what, this is a pretty amazing thing, man. I took 20-something years off of gaming, didn't play a single fucking video game, and then one day I put a VR headset on and booted this thing up, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it wasn't quite 20 years, but kind of the same thing for us.
Dude, I played some old simulator games when I was in Yuma back in the 90s that using a view switch had on my stick to look around does not compare to VR.
Yeah, I played Warbirds like 1995-ish, something like that. That was the last flight simulator I played.
Mine was like Hornet Korea and Hornet 3.0 and Jane's F-18 and, you know, a lot of those games from late 90s, early 2000s. And it's totally different. I thought Track IR was a game changer.
There's not like an autopilot hover, right? Like once you get up, like
Autopilot.
That's the F-35.
No, man, you gotta actually train this guy.
Better question is, why did you ever fly?
Rose, are you up here with us?
Oh, bugger, yeah.
So your happy zone is Witch's Hat on the horizon if you're in VStall Master mode. Once you're there, you're just kind of neutral, and then kind of like a hockey stop to control it from there. So if you're going forward, you bring the nose up and do a little hockey stop to slow it down, and then bring your witch's hat back to the horizon to keep it where you want it. Same thing left and right. Drop a wing, start going that direction. Use opposite wing to then stop it, and a little hockey stop.